हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू आईएएस फाउंडेशन। गाइस, आज जो हम बात करने वाले हैं वो पॉलिटिकल साइंस के जो ऑप्शन होते हैं, पीएसआईआर, पॉलिटिकल साइंस एंड इंटरनेशनल रिलेशनशिप, राजनीतिक विज्ञान और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंध के जो ऑप्शन पेपर है, आज हम उनके बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। तो जैसा कि हमने आपको पहले ही बता दिया है कि ये पॉलिटिकल साइंस जो होता है ना, ये सिलेबस दो कंबाइंड होते हैं, जैसे हम पॉलिटिकल साइंस और इंटरनेशनल रिलेशनशिप, ठीक है ना। ये दो दो पेपर, पॉलिटिकल साइंस अगर आप ऑप्शन रखिएगा तो उसका कंबाइंड मिलता है, ठीक है ना। कंबाइंड ऑप्शन आपको रखने पड़ेंगे। एक पेपर पॉलिटिकल साइंस का होता है और एक पेपर अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंध का होता है। टोटल मिला के पीएसआईआर होता है, ठीक है। अधिकतम ये भी 250 अंक का होता है, दो पेपर होता है, यानी 500 नंबर का होता है। 3 घंटे होते हैं, जैसा कि हमने आपको पहले ही बता दिया है। इसमें टोटल सेम एज की 8 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, 5 करने होते हैं, जिसमें से 1 और 5 आपने कंपलसरी बनाना है और हर सेक्शन से 2 क्वेश्चन बनना चाहिए, ठीक है। तो चलिए देखते हैं कि इसमें क्या क्या पूछा गया है, ठीक है। सेक्शन ए में देखते हैं। ये यूपीएससी सीएसई मेंस 2020 का पॉलिटी ऑप्शनल का पेपर है। पोस्ट कॉलोनियल थ्योरीज ऑफ इंडिया, कमेंट द फॉलोइंग इन अबाउट। इसको 150 वर्ड में जो है इसको बताना है, ठीक है ना। इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी, अवसर की समानता। लिबरलिज्म एज ए रेवोल्यूशनरी आइडिया, अम्बेडकर आइडियाज ऑन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनलिज्म। मैकालीज सेक्युलरिज्म, मेक a comparative assessment of Greek perspective of justice with the revolution concept of justice. Representative democracy means the people as a body must be able to control the general direction of government policy. J.S. Mill. Assess the significance of the right to property in political theory. Explain the ideological component of Gandhism. Examine the nature and meaning of power. Explain the source of ancient Indian political thought. Trans the evolution of Western political thought from ancient to contemporary world period. Discuss the significance of a normative approach to political theory. Discuss Karl Marx's concept of class. Role of socialists in the Indian national movement. Role of constitution makers concerned on social inequality. Right to constitutional remedies in India. Judicial overreach in India. Mechanism for settling interstate dispute. Examine the role and function of the Election Commission of India and the Comptroller and Auditor General at the last 2 decades. Trace the role of militant and revolutionary movement in India national movement. To what extent the 73rd and 74th Amendment of the Indian Constitution extend women empowerment? Does the functioning of the federalism in India to tend make it appears as a unitary state in practice? Has the thrust of the government tilted towards executive in contemporary Indian politics? Give your argument. Liberalization of Indian economy has been accompanied with adequate reform. Comment. To what extent the adequate intra-party democracy affected the function of Indian democracy? Examine the role of religion in Indian politics in the contemporary times. Examine the nature of civil liberty movement in India. देखिए, ये ये आपने ये हमने पेपर 1 जो है पॉलिटिकल साइंस का देख लिया, ठीक है। अब हम पेपर 2 देखेंगे। पेपर 1 देखा, ठीक है, और अब पेपर 2 देख लेते हैं। ये भी सेम होता है, 3 घंटे का, 250 मार्क्स का, बाकी बता चुके। चलिए देखते हैं इसमें क्या क्या पूछता है। सेक्शन ए, discuss the subject matter of comparative politics. Outline the limitation of comparative politics analysis. Analysis the contribution of liberal democratic principle in the democratization of Indian polity. Has the increased participation of the underprivileged in the political process of the developing societies strengthened democracy or created political chaos and conflicts? Comments. Critical examine the impact of process of globalization from the perspective of the countries to the global south. What are the core assumptions of idealism and an approach to study international relationship? Explain in continuing relevances in peace in building. Explain the concept of balance of power. What are the various techniques of maintaining balance of power? Enumerate the challenge in the operation of the principle related to collective security in the UN Chartered. Critical analysis the implication of Sino-American strategic revolution for the South and East Asian region. Discuss the ways to strengthen non-alignment movement to enable its address and challenge to faced by the developing countries. critically evaluate the role of the United States of South America in the World Trade Organization, dispute settlement mechanism, and its implication for the future of the WTO. Explain the significance and importance of the demanded and raised by the developing countries for a new international economic order (NIEO). Are they likely to achieve their objective of NIEO and foreseeable futures? Discuss the significance and urgency of the UN Security Council for the reform. Explain and references for the reform proposal made by the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres for the developing countries. Critically analyzes the role of ASEAN in the promotion of regional peace and security through cooperation and trade. Examine the role of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change UPSC and other major efforts by the UN address to the global environment crisis. Describe the structure and function of the National Security Council of India. What role does it play to the formulation of Indian foreign policy? Outline the reason of low volume of trade in the SAARC region. Analyze the impact of hydropolitics on Indo-Bangladesh relations. Discuss the future prospects of Indian and Indo-Nepal relations in the context of the recent publication of new police map wrongly claiming Indian territory. How does cross-border terrorism impede the achievement of peace and security in South Asia? How do the guiding principles of India-Africa relations seek to enhance harmony and mutual cooperation between India and Africa? What are the notable features of the recently concluded pact or the Acquisition and Cross-Serving Agreement (ACSA) between India and Japan? How it's likely to address the security concern of India? Discuss the significance of Indian-US strategic partnership and its implication for the Indian security and national defense. Explain the defense and foreign policy option for the India to address the challenge emerging out of the current India-China standoff at the line of actual control (LOC). Explain the importance of Indian claim for the permanent seat in the UN Security Council. Discuss the efficiency of India no first use policy nuclear weapon in the context of evolving strategic challenge from its neighbor. The war in Afghanistan is crucial for the point of view of Indian national security. In the American withdrawal and jihadis emerge with a sense of triumphalism. India will face an increased onslaught of terrorism. Comment. Identify the key sector of cooperation between India and Israel since 2014. Examine their significance in strengthening the bilateral ties between the two countries. Critically examine the role of India shaping the emerging world order. और इस तरह हमने आज PSIR पॉलिटिकल साइंस एंड इंटरनेशनल रिलेशनशिप का ऑप्शनल का पेपर 1 और पेपर 2 देखा। आई होप कि आपको ये वीडियो अच्छा लगा होगा। अच्छा लगा है तो कमेंट करके बताइए, ठीक है। अगर आप मेरे चैनल पर नए हैं तो सब्सक्राइब IAS फाउंडेशन, लाइक कमेंट शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब, बेल आइकन को दबाना ना भूलें, ठीक है। और आप कमेंट करके बताइए कि आपका ऑप्शनल क्या है। जय हिंद।